I hope all of you guys bought the dip on the weekend, because this could have been one of the last big dips before we're going into a crazy altcoin season. I on my end bought Ondo Finance again. Why? I will tell you all about in today's video, because this project is way too cheap for what is happening right in the moment. So I'd say let's not lose time and start right into it. If you did not listen to me, I hope you at least listened to Eric Trump, who already told us to buy the dip for Ethereum and Bitcoin. Yes, it is true, everybody needs Bitcoin and Ethereum. Nobody can afford to not have those both coins in his portfolio. But I would definitely recommend to position in altcoins, because the altcoin season is coming maybe already in September. So this is why we have to build our portfolio right now. Because, for example, Ondo Finance is not waiting for us. They are already starting with the tokenization of assets. And you might ask, why do I know that? Because I monitor everything that's happening on the blockchain. For example, if we go to Etherscan, we can see clearly what is happening on the blockchain. And if we put in here Ondo tokenized, we can clearly see something big is happening behind the scenes. Ondo Finance tokenized nearly 300 of the biggest stocks we have here. Alibaba, IBM, Apple, Boeing, DoorDash, AMD, MasterCard, Netflix, Tesla, Pfizer, Coinbase, United Health, Visa. Then we have your Disney, GameStop, Nvidia, and so on and so on and so on. You can see what is happening right here. They're going full send with the tokenization of stocks. They're not waiting. I mean, can you see how bullish this is? And for me, I must say, this is not a surprise that they are already starting behind the scenes, because they are telling us right in our faces that it will be one of the biggest things in the history of finance. For example, the SEC made their crypto report public, and their crypto report is more than bullish for a lot of crypto projects and especially for Ondo. If we're heading to page 41, there we can see everything about tokenization. And here clearly one project is mentioned with the tokenization of assets, and it is Ondo Finance. So also the SEC sees Ondo here as the #1 player in tokenization of assets, and this is also no surprise. But there's also other projects mentioned here, like Plume, for example. And a little before that, we can see another big project I'm also holding in my portfolio. We can see here clearly Chainlink. Nothing runs without Chainlink. The crypto space wouldn't exist as we know it without Chainlink. So for sure, this is very bullish for Chainlink as well. So it is really not a surprise that all of these tokens are in our crypto portfolios. Because when you follow me, you know exactly how I am building my portfolios. This is not a surprise that these coins I put in my high potential category are the coins that are mentioned here, because Hype is the #1 DeFi coin. Ondo is the #1 real world asset coin. Tau is the #1 AI coin. Say the #1 gaming coin. Casper #1 layer 1, and Render #1 Deepin. And here Chainlink as the #1 oracle. Without Chainlink, the crypto space wouldn't exist as we know it. So this is the coins you have to watch in this cycle. This is the projects you will earn shitloads of money. So put them in your portfolio. We have a little time left. Overall, I have to admit the report is very professional. It is 166 pages long. There is 391 mentions of crypto, 130 mentions of Bitcoin, 32 mentions of DeFi, and 28 mentions of Ethereum. So it is also not a surprise that Ethereum is mentioned that often, because everything is happen on Ethereum. It doesn't matter if it's DeFi, if it's stable coins or real world assets. Also, real world assets is happening on Ethereum at the moment. And also with the launch of Ondo Finance Global Markets, they will start tokenizing on Ethereum. So we can see that Etherscan, and also they made a post, Ethereum runs 24/7, 356 days, securing over 400 billion in assets the bedrock of decentralized finance. So Ondo team says that Ethereum is a perfect starting point for Ondo's tokenized stocks and ETFs. So also, this is not a surprise, this is exactly how I would have made it. So am I bearish now on Ondo that they're not launching their own chain yet? No, not at all. This is just a smart move, how they will start, how they will not lose any time. And this is exactly how they will further success and win. But also this is just small compared to what I'm telling you next, because the SEC launched Project Crypto. And Project Crypto is really crazy. Basically, you can say that Project Crypto has one big goal: to bring America's financial markets on-chain. And we all remember how the old SEC acted. They called everything a security, they sued Coinbase, Ripple, Binance. They scared US builders offshore. And it took years to approve the first Bitcoin ETF. But now in 2025, everything changes thanks to Paul Atkins. He says clearly Wall Street to Silicon Valley, everything is lining up to tokenize and they are ready. And this is also not a surprise to me because, as we know, Paul Atkins is in the board of Securitize, which is one of the biggest tokenizing companies out there, working also with BlackRock and a few other big players. So Paul Atkins is just the final puzzle piece for one of the biggest crypto seasons of all times. The financial markets are changing forever as we know it, and we can be part of when history is written. Project Crypto has 5 big goals. The first goal is to make a clear framework for tokenized securities. The second goal, very interesting also, is to legalize ICOs and airdrops. And since I'm a big DeFi fan, this will bring huge opportunities for us. The third point is also very important: to make self-custody great again. The fourth point is also big for DeFi. They will make super apps for staking and lending great again. And there will come a big exemption for innovation and builders. So this crypto project is the biggest thing we have seen in crypto so far. So this will change everything. Tokenized assets will go mainstream. Stocks, bonds, real estate, all on-chain, faster, cheaper, and 24/7 tradable on the markets. So all of these things will lead to one thing: Ondo coiling up for a big explosion. So when they start with their global market, everything will change. Real world assets will start flying, also Plume and other interesting projects, but Ondo will be the leader of the narrative, and always bet on the leaders. JP Morgan says, for example, that we won't need stablecoins backed by US dollars any longer. We can go to stablecoins backed with real world assets. And also, I think there will be a big transition coming for stablecoins with the Genius Act and everything. Billions will flow into this. And as I already told you, this will change everything. Also, this is what Donald Trump tells us. This is the biggest revolution of financial technology since the birth of the internet itself. And we can be part of it. And you can benefit big time. Can you remember all of these .com millionaires? You can be one of them. But you have to make the right choices and moves now. Everything depends on you. Because Donald Trump is already doing everything in his power. You just have to look on the actions Donald Trump did already take for crypto in this short period. So everything is on you now. And the time window is closing very fast. Because in September, the altcoin season will go full swing. Because in September, we will get our first rate cut of this year in the United States. The possibility that we will get a rate cut is now nearly 80%. Doesn't matter if you look at Polymarket or at CME Watch, it is 80%. And you all know what happens after the rates are cut. Cheap money will flow into crypto. So the timeline, in my opinion, is very clear. Also, stable coins bottom usually out in August, and then we're coiling up for a crazy altcoin season. And as I already told you, this will be the biggest season of all times. Because when we look at the market cap in crypto overall, it is only $4 trillion. This is a third of BlackRock, and all of the Wall Street is coming with their trillions. and putting them on chain. And then we have the Genius Act, where trillions in stablecoins are coming on chain as well. I mean, can you imagine how big this will get? Everything will change as we know it. The whole financial industry will change, and we can be the first movers. We have the first mover advantage, but we have to use it. So use it wisely. And if you need any help, just let me know down in the comments. I'm always happy to help. I hope I was able to give you some interesting insights in today's video. If you liked the video, please share it with your friends, smash the follow button, smash the like button, so that you won't miss any updates when we're going into the craziest season of all times. Thank you for watching. See you soon, guys.